Hey guys, welcome to Interesting Video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with yet another Varus supplementary guide. Now you guys know Varus has like so many builds, and this one is going to be the Essence Reaver into AP build, but the interesting part here is going to be about Phase Rush. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the build because I already discussed this particular item build in depth in the video with where I talked about Essence Reaver into AP. You guys can find the video for a more detailed description of the items itself, but here I'm just going to briefly go through it. So first up, Gluttonous Greaves for the starting AD as well as the Omnivamp, and then into Essence Reaver, which is going to give your arrows a decent amount of damage as well as to give you wave clear. And then you start to go into AP with the Nash's Tooth, which is going to be able to give you AD initially because of these two items. However, later on when you go into Riftmaker, it's going to give you AP, so you're going to kind of convert into an AP build, but still have the wave clear from the Essence Reaver. And then we have the safety from the Crown, and of course the extra AP from the Death Cap as our last item. So for the runes, this is where it gets interesting, which is going to be Phase Rush. Now Phase Rush is a really interesting rune here because on one hand, you do kind of lose out on damage if you don't go for, you know, runes like Conqueror, runes like First Strike, which give you more direct benefits. But I actually found that Phase Rush has helped me numerous times to either chase down kills or more often is to run away. So a lot of times you can just do a really quick combo, proc your Phase Rush, and just run away. It's a different and interesting kind of playstyle, and it does work. I wouldn't really recommend it as a first choice. It's really hard to use optimally, to be honest. But yeah, it is definitely an option, and you guys will see how it works in the gameplay a little bit later on. But of course, for the rest of the runes, it's kind of the same deal. Brutal, Giant Slayer, Alacrity, as well as Bone Plating. And for the spells, of course, we have Flash as well as Ghost. We can also go for Exhaust if we need it. But you know, with all that said, let's just talk about our gameplay now. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the gameplay. So in this particular game, straight off the bat, it's a really tough game. Like you guys can see, it's like 20 plus minute game, really intense game. Really hard game to play Varus, to be honest, because we don't really have a lot of peel. Nami can't peel so well, neither can like Ornn, really. So, and we have like a lot of champions that can get on top of you, like Jax, like Kayn, like Leona. So really tough kind of game. So early game, Varus is actually pretty strong. For some reason, Leona goes in on us at level 1. So we're just gonna quickly, you know, get a quick trade. You can see with the Phase Rush, you can kind of zoom around. So we kind of just zoom out of the way to basically prevent us from really getting hit by anything more than what we wanted to. So quick trade, pretty much just won already. Phase Rush definitely helped a lot there as well. So this lane looks really scary. Leona, Samira looks really scary, and it is really scary if you get engaged on by Leona. But at the same time, at level 1, it really isn't that scary. We now know Leona is E at level 1, and if she goes in on us at level 1, it's not that threatening. So what we can really do here is, at least at level 1, we can really try to bully them if we can. We outrange Samira by a decent amount. Leona can't really do very much. Just so you can see here, we're walking up to attack. Now she's level 2, so we gotta watch out because she can, of course, jump in and stun us. So that would, of course, be a problem because we could be taking a full combo from Leona and Samira and then giving them like a kill, and you know that would be bad, of course. So we don't want that to happen, but at the same time, we want to take advantage of our you know, our strength as well. So here Leona goes in, doesn't actually get the stun for some reason. So here we're getting a full charge arrow. Leona's like 1 HP at this point. She runs away. Samira has to pop the exhaust. We don't pop any summoner spell, so we take and Samira now flashes as well because of Nami. So here I actually hit the Leona with the arrow, but Leona is still stuck on 1 HP. They've used up all their summoner spells except for Leona's Ignite, which honestly greatly decreases their threat level because they don't have any flashes to engage or escape. Here Kayn ends up coming in, but Leona has already backed. So now we're still in the 2v2. We can see we're destroying the Kayn. I flash over, try to finish him off. He's stuck at 1 HP. I finally finish him off. Leona now comes back and I get caught, so I know that I'm dead for sure. I'm trying to kill Samira, and I actually get the kill post-mortem from the hail of arrows that I released right before I die. So overall, I get 2 kills, 2 for 1 trade. It's pretty alright, and now I used all my summoner spells as well. But 2 for 1 trade is something that I would definitely take. And also, if you consider the wave state, Samira also loses minions because we were able to pretty much push in the wave before this fight happened. So this is a huge win for me. I get 2 kills, and Samira loses minions. Yeah, you know, I'll take the trade any day of the week. And now we're gonna shove in the wave again to get a bounce. Hopefully, you can see Leona coming back to the lane. So we do want to, of course, be a little bit cautious of that. We don't want to play too ham. We're of course waiting for the wave to just bounce back and reset like this. And now we just want to be cautious of a possible Leona engage. But aside from that, we can still try to bully. We are level 5 and the enemy team is not, so we are the only person who has ultimate in this lane so far. Leona actually goes in despite me having level 5 advantage, and that's because Kayn is here. So Leona with the W doesn't take too much damage, and Nami pays the price for it. Now I get stunned by the Leona into a full combo, and I just end up just going down. And now, it's still early game, so we respawn, and you can see kind of the problem starting to appear already, which is the Kayn. The Kayn is going to be our main nemesis throughout the whole game because he's he has first strike, he's obviously going for Shadow Assassin, he's building lethality, so he's going to be kind of the main issue, in this particular game, because he can pretty much just one-shot us, whenever he wants, more or less. So yeah, so here anyways, Nami gets a beautiful engage. We kill the Leona off of that. We actually proc the phase rush, which allows us to walk out of Samira's ulti. And now we're in a 1v1 against Samira. We're just trying to kite away from her, and we eventually manage to get it with the help of the kiting. She does flash to try to close the gap, but we barely end up surviving. So you can once again see, without phase rush here, we would have been stuck inside Samira's ultimate, and we would have taken a lot of damage, and we definitely would have died, and she would have lived. So literally, phase rush actually saved our life and then allowed us to get the kill afterwards in this particular trade. Like, I hope you guys can see from this couple of examples how much value phase rush actually gives you. Like as I said, it's definitely really hard to use because you have to kind of play around the fact that you have phase rush. But you can see that it has paid dividends for us multiple times. We're only 4 minutes into the game. It's paid off for us, like, I don't know, at least 2 to 3 times at this point. So definitely phase rush is a really good rune for Varus. Again, it's not the first choice that I would recommend for sure. I would definitely say go Conqueror as a default. But if you're good at Varus and if you've been playing Varus for a long time, phase rush as a rune definitely something you should consider. Definitely something you should try out. So here, we also interrupt Samira's back with the help of our arrow. Dragon is now spawning. We don't want to let them reset. Of course, so here Leona goes in alone onto the Nami. I mean, we can't really kill her. But we can, of course, just so phase rush allows us to actually catch up to her, get down the ulti, and we can actually kill her after all. So once again, phase rush value there. Without the phase rush there, yeah, I could have killed her, but I would have had to blow my flash to close the gap. Now Samira goes in onto us. So you see now I have my flash, which then allows me to get out, and eventually we trade 1 for 1 with the Samira. So you realize there how the phase rush allowed me to, number 1, kill the Leona, and number 2, allow me to save my flash, which then helped to save me from Samira's initial onslaught and allowed me to trade 1 for 1 with Samira. Without phase rush, I would have either, number 1, missed out on the kill on Leona, or number 2, I get the kill on Leona but I end up dying to Samira, which would also just be bad. So yeah, I mean, honestly at this point I feel like I don't really need to consistently point out why phase rush is good anymore. I feel like the point has kind of been made already throughout these past couple of examples that I've given you, but if it happens, I'm probably just going to highlight it anyways. Here, enemy team's on Dragon. Me and Nami basically just walk there to face check, and Nami ends up getting like 3 people jumping on her and just straight up just dies. And yeah. So here, yeah, so this is what I was talking about. So you can see here, what can I do about this? Like, Kayn flashes in, full combos me, and I just instantly die 100 to 0 with 0 counterplay. Like, the only thing I could have done here that could have saved my life is pop a stasis. So basically from that, I was like, I can't go for a Proto Belt or other enchants this game. I have to go for a stasis. If not, there's no way I can survive a Kayn. Like, the only way is to have a stasis and try to delay time. Hopefully your team can help you out. Yeah, so that's kind of just the direction I have to go. But despite getting assassinated by Kayn, of course, I am still the most fed member of my team. Although you can see here that Samira and Kayn are really fed as well. I'm taking a bunch of damage from Asol because of his Rylai's, and I can't really run away. But yeah, you can see here we get the wave clear from the Essence Reaver. We're just not really one-shotting, but getting the whole wave pretty easily here. Of course, our action is dead, so we help him to clear that wave, and then we can quickly rotate back down to bot to prevent Samira from getting that tower. Lining them up and pretty much one-shotting the wave in this instance. Right, so here, honestly, at this point, the name of the game is to survive. Like, we want to be able to survive so that we can, you know, do the damage, and basically want to just avoid getting killed, mainly by Kayn, but of course we can get killed by, you know, like a Samira, Leona, engage combo, or like a Jax jumping in, things like that, but honestly the main thing here is Kayn, so we want to try, if we can, to keep track of where Kayn is, and, you know, be wary when he's near us, so that we know that we have to kind of watch out, or, you know, not play too recklessly, things like that.
Under attack.
So here, as of now, we aren't really very sure where he is, so we can't really play too aggressively. Like, we do have Hecarim near us, but yeah, do we really trust Hecarim to come and save us if Kayn, you know, comes for us? Like, honestly, he can't even do it if he wants to. Like, you can see, Kayn can one-shot me in like 2 seconds under tower, so like, who can really save me at this point? Alright, so here we have Hecarim with us, so we're going to be able to force down this tower just based off of the pressure. Leona gets a stun onto me, roots me, stuns me, and yeah, I'm pretty much dead at this point. If not to Kayn, it'll be to Samira, because like, I can't move for like a good 3 seconds from all the CC, and like, my whole team just ends up dying. You can see we just get aced all across the map. Kayn picks up a triple kill onto all of us, and my teammates died, you know, in separate fights. And yeah, it's kind of just a disaster. So you can see that Kayn is wreaking havoc on me especially. Like, I can't really do anything against the Kayn. It's just kind of the fact of the matter. You know, assassins just destroy, you know, ADCs, especially if they know what they're doing. And this Kayn, looks like he kind of knows what he's doing. So yeah, it's not a good sign for me. And you can see this is why the game is really tough. Like, I'm getting a good amount of kills. I'm performing relatively well, and the phase rush is helping me out a lot as well. But it's simply just the issue that there's nothing you can do against an assassin who can one-shot you. So yeah, we're kind of stuck in this situation. So here, we have to try to maximize our impact in the time we are alive, or try to survive, you know, Kayn's onslaught, if we can. So here we find a pick onto Jax in the side lane. He really has nowhere to run. He ends up trading 1-for-1 with the Akshan, which is a huge win for him. Now Kayn comes for me at the side, doesn't manage to one-shot me, so this time I actually managed to kill him. You can see that if I survive his damage, I can actually do something about the situation. Now of course Samira does kill me eventually, and pretty much just kills my whole team, gets a quadra kill, and yeah, the situation is still kind of horrible because we end up trading 5-for-2. But the important part here is we learned that if we can survive Kayn initially, we can kill him, and we can, you know, help our team do damage. So this is why I invest in a pretty early stasis. Like here I have only 2 full items, but I'm already going for stasis because I realized that if I eliminate the main problem, which is Kayn, by using the stasis, I become a lot more useful. So in this case, the stasis is kind of more important than any other item I can get, because there's no use going for like all the damage items if you're going to be dead anyways, right? Because Kayn one-shots you and you're not going to be doing any damage if you're dead. So here, stasis now becomes more important to simply just survive. And we also get the huge 1k shutdown from Kayn, which pretty much funds our stasis. So here you can see Kayn's coming for us again, tries to one-shot me, but I pop the stasis here. His ult damage is negated, and I'm able to get the ult down. Hecarim kills him, and the ult actually spreads to everybody. We kill Samira, it spreads over to Asol as well. Asol actually survives on 1 HP. Actually doesn't, because Ornn kills him. Jax is split pushing in the meanwhile. I try to back, but I get nipped in the butt by the Krugs, and it cancels my back. So I'm going to have to channel back again, because I'm going to have to help the Nami out. As you guys can see here. And now Jax is, I mean, I don't think Jax can end the game here because there's still the Nexus shield, but Jax is definitely wreaking havoc in the base. Jax gets a 3-man stun, but obviously he's just gonna die, and we actually end up getting an ace on the enemy team, I believe, for the first time in this game. And yeah, so huge, kind of huge win for us. You can see that in terms of gold now, I'm kind of on par with Kayn and Samira, so I'm really fed as well. The only issue again is surviving. I still have halfway to go for my stasis cooldown, so this is where I'm very vulnerable, because if Kayn comes for me now, I can't really do anything about it. So I do have to try to be safe and try not to encounter Kayn. Of course, it's a lot easier said than done. Speaking of which, I encounter someone, it's not the Kayn. I nearly get caught by the black hole, and I'm kind of catching him out. I get the aura, so I'm just auto-attacking Leona. Now here Kayn comes for me, so I know I'm dead because I don't have the stasis. I try to do as much damage as I can to Leona before I die, and I'm able to, you know, allow my team to pick up the kill on Leona, and then Akshan gets the kill onto Kayn, which revives me and Nami. So yeah, this is one of those times that Akshan passive plays a huge part, because now with me and Nami revived, we can actually go for Baron, because the whole enemy team is dead except Jax, and Jax can't stop us from taking Baron by himself. So Akshan passive kind of coming in clutch here. Honestly, Akshan hasn't been doing very well the whole game, but just from that passive alone, it has given us a free Baron, which, yeah, just kind of shows you the value of Akshan W. In the meantime, there's kind of a 1v1 you know, against the Jax going on. Jax is trying to hop away. He ends up having to pop the flash to escape. And now we've just, you know, won a fight. We've just gone Baron. We haven't yet reset to get items, so here I'm just going to quickly reset. I actually get the Ornn passive from Ornn at this point. Still going to reset though, pick up my Riftmaker and you know, another Amp Tome. And yeah, we're in a pretty good spot. 3 full items, stasis at the ready to defend ourselves against Kayn. Huge wave at top here for us to collect. Lots of gold to fund our future items. You can see that whilst we were recalling, the enemy team actually pushes in mid lane all the way. Yeah, that's not good. And here, Hecarim is kind of getting caught out at the side lane, but he is pretty tanky, so he's actually delaying a lot of their time, which actually allows us to come over and actually help him out. So here, the only person in my range is Leona, so I'm just going to focus her first. My Phase Rush is popping, I'm just kiting away a little bit. She goes down, and now we're chasing Jax and the Aesol. You can see I'm doing huge damage to Aesol. I flash forward to try to finish him off. I get the Jax and then the Aesol. The whole enemy team is dead except the actual 2 important people, which is Samira and Kayn. So I know Kayn might be somewhere around here, so I'm kind of cautious. I have my stasis ready, so I'm not too scared. There he is. He gets his Edge of Night popped by Nami, and he's now running for the hills, because now, you know, with his spells gone, you know, he knows that I can, you know, possibly just kill him really quickly. So he knows he has to run, which he does. And you can see that here the game is slowly starting to turn from Kayn and Samira destroying my whole team. Now you can see that my team has been winning the last couple of fights, and we can and should indeed be winning the fights. Of course, the last fight Kayn wasn't with them, so we had a major advantage in terms of the economy, because Kayn has the most gold of the enemy team. And here we're also going to, of course, get the Crown. Crown does help in a way as well, because you can, of course, block the first spell. So if that's like a Kayn W or a Kayn Q, we can block that, and it could possibly stop him from one-shotting us. So that, you know, could come in real handy, you know, real soon when we complete it. So I am just trying to get the last couple of minions. Here you can see I get the Crown from the Ornn passive buy. And nearly full build at this point. Only need the Death Cap to get full build. But we're already doing a ton of damage at this point in time. So we have a little bit of downtime. We're just going to quickly farm up these Raptors. Now Jax again is kind of overextending. He's getting caught out by himself. We're just blasting him into next week. And yeah, hit the arrow and he ends up going down. We know Leona is somewhere around here. Kayn ends up going for Akshan, which means that he doesn't have spells anymore. So I try to go for him, but doesn't quite work out. Leona engages, but no one really follows up. So we're just free firing onto Leona and finishing her off. And now we get Aesol. Kayn is now at the side. Goes for Nami. Ults onto Nami instead of me. So I am safe for the next couple of seconds while his spells are on cooldown. So here, Samira is now in trouble. She's gonna die, and she does go down. Kayn is the only person left alive. So here, initially I was pinging for the dragon, but then I realized that mid tower is probably more important than dragon, because we don't really need, we can't get the soul anyway, and like getting one extra ocean dragon is barely gonna give us anything anyways. Honestly, I think mid tower is more important, so we go for that. After we get that, we're actually gonna go for the dragon, because I can't push mid by myself, because if not, Kayn can just assassinate me. Kayn actually tries to go in on the dragon fight, and honestly, the price of Kayn's life is bigger than the dragon. So if we lose dragon but get Kayn, I think it's worth it, which is exactly what happens. We lose dragon but get Kayn. So number one, I get a lot of gold, but what's more important is number two, Kayn is down and Baron is up. So there is a world where we force Baron. You can see I'm actually pinging for Baron, because Kayn is like gone, so we can actually just force it, and we probably can win a fight against the enemy team, you know, as long as Samira doesn't just straight up pop off. However, my team is at bot, trying to stop the Jax, so we are not really going to be able to do Baron, because our jungler is on the wrong side of the map. And yeah, my team is getting distracted by the Jax, so I guess you could say either my team is not making the proper macro play, which they are not. Or you can say Jax is doing a very good job of distracting them, which he is, depending on how you want to see it. So a fight inevitably breaks out where we're going to quickly try to make our way there. By this time, any team has used most of their cooldown, so I'm trying to, catch someone out. Unfortunately, the ult just barely out of range. I'm trying my best to really do something. Face rush procs, and I'm trying to chase people down. Leona's caught, so this is definitely should be a kill. We do get her. Kayn is now alive, so we want to be careful of where he is, because he could just instantly go for us at any time. We know that Jax is backing here, because we can see the Hullbreaker buff onto the minions. And here the Elder Dragon is up, so obviously the most natural thing to do is go for the Elder Dragon. Now Jax is kind of overextending. I decided to actually back off a little bit because I don't want to just do Elder Dragon and get assassinated by Kayn, because he obviously is somewhere near the area. There he is. And yeah, we do want to be very cautious about it. So here you can see Kayn goes through the wall, and I couldn't see him because he's not in vision. He just Q ults me, and I just instantly die before I can even react. Like, I had my stasis, but I just didn't even react fast enough, because if you guys can replay that for yourselves and see if you guys would have stasis in time, but he literally just hits me with his Q while he's out of vision because he's in the bush. So I get hit by Q while he's out of vision, and then I get ulted, and the ult kills me at 75% HP. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that one, but yeah, so we are dead and Elder Dragon is up, which is obviously horrible because our team doesn't have me and Nami. Although now we do get the Jax and we do get the Samira, so it's kind of becoming a full-on team fight instead of Elder Dragon fight. Fighting in the enemy jungle. Kayn has run out of cooldowns, he's getting kind of chased down. Akshan ults him, he pops the stasis. Hecarim is going for him, ults him. He manages to dodge it with his own ult, but Hecarim eventually manages to get the Kayn. And now once again we're in a situation where the enemy team has no jungler, and it's again a 5v4. So obviously we should be going for Elder Dragon here, but I don't know why my team is going into fight. Ornn ends up dying to Samira. And yeah, so here I'm trying to help on my team. I hit the ulti, I'm going for the snipe. I get the Samira, which is the important target. And Jax the next target, we get the Jax. And here, honestly, we don't even need Elder Dragon anymore. Kayn still has 20 seconds until he spawns. Leona is the only one alive. And honestly, Leona can't really defend the base by herself, so we are going to be able to get the win here either way. So here we're just going to quickly clear out the last minion wave, and victory march, we get the base. Barely before Kayn revives. So hopefully you guys can see how strong Face Rush really is on Varus. I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.